predictions. I'm filming this on a snow day, so if I look especially gleeful, that is why. But I wanted to start out the year, or I guess February almost at this point, telling you about my top 25 books I want to read in 2025. A big issue that I had with 2024 is I reached for a lot of easy things because I was scared of getting to the things that I was really looking forward to because I didn't want it to not live up to the hype. And I own a lot of books that are hyped and I'm very concerned that I'm not gonna love them, so I put them off, but this is my year of tackling them and doing all my 5-star predictions. So without further ado, I'm gonna walk you through some of the books, 25 of them specifically, that I want to read in 2025. And we'll see at the end of the year if I actually accomplish this. I will start first with the handful of books that I do not own, but I'm primarily going to be pulling from my owned TBR. And these are in no particular order. The first one has not come out yet. I actually don't even know if it comes out this year or if it's next year. I should have checked on that. But Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. I will never not read what this man writes, and I know he has been obsessed with tuberculosis for years now. I also really want to read Ransom Riggs' new series, which the first one is The Extraordinary Disappointments of Leopold Berry. It is based on like 80s lore, I believe. The cover at least looks like that, so that makes me nervous because I am a Gen Z. I love his writing style and I'm so interested to see what his first thing is outside of the Miss Peregrine's universe. Speaking of new books by tried and true authors, I really want to read the Stolen Heir series by Holly Black and probably do a reread of the Cruel Prince books lead up to that because they're so short and easy and fun. On the opposite spectrum from that, I really want to read Martyr by Kaveh Akbar, who I read a poetry collection from called Calling a Wolf, and I loved that book. This is his debut novel and I couldn't tell you a single thing about it other than I know it's gonna eat and devour, so I really want to read that one. And then the last book that I do not own but I know I need to finally get around to is the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, which comes highly recommended from anyone who likes fantasy. I've only read one Brandy Sandy book and I did not like it, but it was his sci-fi YA one, so I'm excited to give his adult fantasy trilogy a try because he's like super popular in that genre, so I want to catch up. Now I'm gonna try and grab books in no particular order, but I'll save some of my top picks for the end. Okay, so I'm trying to go with a mix of genres for my 5-star predictions. A lot of these are based on feedback I got from you. Please don't lead me astray. This year I want to finally read Dracula by Bram Stoker, which a lot of people said is a very approachable classic, so I'm looking forward to this. Definitely gonna save that for spooky time. I'm also finally going to tackle Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, which I've tried to read before and didn't like at the beginning, but it's been like a decade, so I'm ready. It's a pandemic book about actors that do Shakespeare, and allegedly it is gorgeous, so highly looking forward to that. When I read Rebecca, everyone said I have to try A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I have this coverless edition of it. And this is a modern classic, so I think it's just a coming of age, nice little tale. So I'm gonna give this one a go this year. And I don't know why I grouped all the classics together, but I also want to read East of Eden by John Steinbeck, which comes with glowing reviews from multiple people. I know nothing about it and I don't want to know anything about it, but I know it is set in America from an American author. It's a chunker, but everyone I've talked to has devoured this, so I'm looking forward to it. This is the year I'm finally going to catch up on Taha Mafi's backlist and read An Emotion of Great Delight. I still haven't read this one. When did this come out? Like 2018? 2021. Okay, whatever. This is one of her contemporary YA books, but it's about a girl. I was gonna say post 9/11, and yeah, it still is. So both of her books are set in the early 2000s, and I do not remember much else. It's just about being Muslim in the wake of 9/11 in America. I know I'm gonna love this, so it's just a matter of time before I read it. Oh, one more classic, just kidding. I've been recommended this TV show, so I want to read the book first. Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. Also, everyone has recommended me Blue Castle, or The Blue Castle by L.M. Montgomery, so I might be having my L.M. Montgomery year. This is a children's classic about Anne, who lives on Prince Edward Island in Canada. I might have just made that up. We love Anne. She's so precious. I have seen like half of the first season of the show, so I'm expecting to love that because she's so cute. Next thing I really want to read is Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. This is a Japanese translation translated book, and it's kind of like a day in the life of a woman who works at a convenience store and just the people she meets and the issues she encounters. I'm very interested in this. I don't read a lot of Japanese translated stuff, so that will be a change of pace for me. I also really want to read this YA adventure. I'm sure you all have heard of the Inheritance games. This, I believe, will be my first Jennifer Lynn Barnes book, but this is about a girl who competes to receive a rich man's inheritance by going through a bunch of puzzles and games at his mansion, which sounds so fun. And as a fan of escape rooms, I think I'm gonna devour this. I mentioned this in my winter TBR, and a lot of you talked me off the ledge of being afraid to read this, but Normal People by Sally Rooney and probably other Sally Rooney books I need to get to this year. I love books that are character studies, I love complicated relationships, and I think this will be right up my alley. And also the first book I've read from Sally, who is a Irish author. The next thing I gotta get to, I'm repeating a couple things from my winter TBR, but The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series is a long overdue read for me. Actually, a reread on the first one because I read it for college, but by read it, I listened to the audiobook and probably tuned out half of it, so I remember nothing. I watched the movies last year and fell in love, so John Paul and I are going to buddy read these probably around like February or March. I'm thrilled. I can't wait. Oh my god, I'm sweating. I'm so passionate. I'm so excited. Alrighty, I want to read The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This will be the only mystery thriller I think I've ever read other than And Then There Were None, so this is my starting place. There's mixed reviews though, so maybe I'll have to do a different one and try again. But yeah, I'll probably do its own video just to read this to see how I react to it. And I know nothing, which is exactly what I want. Because I'm a whore who loves books set in about Oxford, I found out Babel is in that category, and now I really want to read it more than I already did. So this is a historical fiction novel from the author of The Poppy Wars, all about colonialism and translations and scholars and I don't know, but I'm very intrigued by this and I have not seen a bad review. When the World Tips Over by Jandy Nelson is my decades awaited new novel from Jandy Nelson. This is a YA contemporary. I know zero zilch nothing about what we're getting into here. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be too. Oh my god, Todd Amofi blurbed this. See? I know her well. I think the reason I read Jandy Nelson originally was because Taha loved them. I adored Jandy Nelson's first two books. This is her third, and once again, I have waited so long to have this. I know it's gonna be about family. I know it's gonna be gorgeously written. I have zero follow-up questions. I can't wait to read this. I also really want to finish the Spindle Cove series this year, which is a Tessa Dare series that starts with A Night to Surrender. These all follow side characters from that book who I thought were so fun, so I can't wait to read these. It's all about military men infiltrating a town that is mostly women and the rivalries that happen there, and it's the best time. So I'm saving these for summer and I'm gonna fly through them. I already know. Beartown by Frederick Bachman, which by the way, I second guessed myself that it was pronounced Bachman, but I googled it and it is Bachman, so you're welcome, Swedish people. This, and this author specifically, people always tell me this book will break your heart. He's such a sad author, like it's great. I didn't realize this is a series, so now I want to read the whole series, so include that all together with this. But this will be my first book by Bachman. I also own A Man Called Uwe. So this is the year I finally break into Bachman literature. I'm so excited. I love melancholy books. And now we're getting into top 5 territory, so I did save my most anticipated for last. One of them is Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. Once again, I stand Margaret Rogerson's sophomore novel. I wasn't so much a fan of her debut, but I kind of want to reread it to test myself and if it was my fault. But this one is about a girl who cleans dead bodies and some kind of curse gets loose, so she has to go train on how to fix the world. It's gonna be dark, it's gonna be gritty, it's gonna be so gorgeous. I cannot wait. I'm finally gonna do it, bitches. Abby Jimenez, I'm coming for your ass. Part of Your World is Shelby's favorite romance book, or one of them. I have owned this from her for years now. She gifted this to me and has just been sitting there staring at me, waiting for me to read this. So this is the first in her series. I know just for the summer, the third one got really popular. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna get there. I kind of want to read all of her books chronologically, and I still need to read the third book in the Friend Zone series, which I've heard mixed reviews about, but I feel like I gotta get through the bad to get to the good because everyone loves this. It's a romance between a doctor and someone else who's not a doctor. And on that similar topic, I'm desperately behind on Emily Henry's list, so I still haven't read Book Lovers, and I haven't read anything past that one, and I've read them all chronologically. I was a fan of Beach Read. I wasn't so much a fan of People You Meet on Vacation, but I'm determined to love this and all her newer ones because everyone says they all get better. I have no clue what it's about, but I trust the hype. Another book I really want to read because it comes highly recommended from one of my best friends is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. This one is a cozy fantasy. I couldn't tell you any more than that. Apparently when I'm determined to like something, I don't want to know too much about it. Maybe that's so that my expectations aren't let down, but I have heard nothing but excellent things about this series, and even if it ends up being a 3-star book for me, I just think I'll have fun when I read it, so I can't wait to give this one a go. And finally, one of my most anticipated books ever, because it's one of my favorite authors, is A Crown of Ivy and Glass by Claire Legrand, which is the first book in her adult fantasy series. This is the same author as Furyborn, which I devoured. I love that series. It had such complex characters, gorgeous world building, amazing villain, very gray characters and like anti-hero vibes. I know nothing about this one other than like monsters and mayhem. That's the title of some monster porn book somewhere, but the sequel for this is already out. I've seen it at my library. I guarantee this is going to receive a 5 stars because this author is smart. I loved Furyborn, so I cannot wait to give this series a go, and this is like, I cannot think of a reason why I would not like this. I'm just like delusional that there's nothing wrong with this and I haven't even read it. So that was more than 25 because I lumped some of these series together, but overall that is everything I wish to accomplish this year. Let me know your thoughts on this list, if I've got a good lineup or not. I also want to know what's on the top of your list. I specifically haven't really looked at what's coming out this year other than John Green's tuberculosis book, so if there's any new releases I should have my eye on, definitely drop me a line and let me know. But thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon. Bye friends. Mwah.